Hello and welcome back to the channel. I don't usually make these kinds of videos on this channel, but in this episode I wanted to talk about something that's on my mind for some time now, and I kind of wanted to share it with you guys and to hear your thoughts, your opinions about it. I did get a new microphone because I wanted to improve a little bit the audio quality of my talking videos on the channel, and I would actually like to make more of these kinds of talking videos about things that I'm interested in, and those are mainly Star Wars because most of us here on the channel are, Star Wars audience, and I would really like to talk about Star Wars with all of you guys. And so, of course, the topic of this episode is Star Wars, or more specifically, the story of movies and TV shows that we got after the timeline of the original trilogy. Or, even more specific, how will it all tie in to the story of Rey and Emperor Palpatine. And before we even start, I have to say that I am not a movie critic. I'm just a fan, like you guys. I love this universe that George Lucas created, and I even love that we are getting even more stories in this era that we are now in. Is it all perfect? No. Is it all a complete disaster? No. Nothing is perfect, and different people love different things. There is something for everyone, and that is why when we talk about these pop culture things, that we have to be respectful. So, okay, let's get into it. At the time of making this video, we are waiting for Season 3 of The Mandalorian and Season 1 of Ahsoka show. And what we know from The Mandalorian so far is that the remains of the Empire are hunting for Force users like Baby Yoda or Grogu, but this time they are hunting them not for the same reason as they did before, namely to destroy what is left from Jedi religion. This time they want their blood because its connection to the midichlorians. We actually saw that the cloning doctor, who has a Kaminoan sign on his uniform, wanted to study Grogu's blood. Now, this is all happening at the time that we know will lead us to the sequel trilogy, where we have Snoke, who we know was a clone made by Palpatine, and we also know that Palpatine will return as a kind of a clone corpse. And in those movies we also learned that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. And I also heard somewhere that it is kind of confirmed, I guess, that Rey's father was actually a clone of Palpatine as well. Now, Rey's background was one of the big mysteries of the sequel trilogy, and although it was explained in The Rise of Skywalker, I kind of feel like there is still some room in there for that story to kind of change. There can be in there some kind of certain point of view theme that could give us a bit more explanation about the reasons why Rey is so powerful and why she has those connections with Jedi Masters like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda that contacted her through her vision in The Force Awakens. One crucial scene that comes to my mind is that one in The Last Jedi, when she falls into that cave on the island. In there is a powerful dark side source, and Rey asks her crucial question at the moment about who are her parents. But what she sees is a mirror in which there are a bunch of reflections of herself. And there is also an echo of her snapping her fingers. And then, at the end of that vision, she sees what it looks like a silhouette of two people, but they connect into one, and it's Rey's reflection again. And now, Rey is disappointed after this vision, but what if that vision has a deeper meaning for the story. What if Rey is a clone of someone? What if she's a clone of Palpatine himself? Or what if she's created by Palpatine's followers through experimenting with the midichlorians from blood of Force users like Grogu? Maybe Rey is created as a body intended for Palpatine to transfer his life essence into it, so that he can rule again. What if there were other Rey clones that somehow failed to live, and she is the only one left, the only one who actually survived the experiment, but the people who are said to be parents were the ones who were against Palpatine, and they were the ones who took her and protected her in a way that, you know, they wanted to protect the galaxy from this tyrant, from his intentions to, you know, extend his life and to keep ruling over the galaxy. So they hid her away, and they actually protected her by sacrificing themselves, as we saw in The Rise of Skywalker. Is that a crazy idea? Is that even possible? Is that something that's a thing online, that someone already talked about it? Are there reasons why that couldn't be the thing? I really don't know, because I didn't look for it. It was just some kind of idea that came to my mind, and I wanted to share it with all of you, because as I said, I like to talk about Star Wars, and there are no better people to talk about Star Wars than you guys, you know, the fellow collectors, fellow Star Wars fans. And I don't know, am I late to the party? Is this something that, a kind of theory that already exists out there? I would like to hear from you guys, so let me know. And there is also another question that is actually connected with all of this. As all of you know, there were a lot of those who were not satisfied, let's call it that, not satisfied with the prequel trilogy, but then came the Clone Wars series that gave a much more depth to this era, and by doing that it changed the way that people feel about this trilogy. And I know this because I'm actually one of those people. I was a guy that preferred the original trilogy, and out of the prequel trilogy, Revenge of the Sith was the movie that I really liked. But I was not a fan of the first two episodes. But after watching Clone Wars, I became a big fan of the prequel trilogy, you know? And I've heard a lot of others that had the same experience. So my second question in this video is, do you guys think that similar thing can happen with the sequel trilogy? Could it happen that the Mandalorian, Grogu, Ahsoka, and even Thrawn that we are probably to get in the Ahsoka series, that they could bring a deeper and more meaningful view of the events of the sequel trilogy? I mean, it's what Dave Filoni already did with prequels, with the Clone Wars, so why not try to do the same for this new era of Star Wars? I know that it all depends on the potential quality of stories that we will get moving forward, you know, but I would really love to hear your thoughts about all of this. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it down in the comments. Do you think that they will try to fix the sequel trilogy through these TV series? And that's of course if you think that sequels need fixing. And if you do think that, then let me know if you have any theories, any ideas of the kind of story that could happen. Do you think that Mando, Grogu, Ahsoka will have anything to do with it? And what do you think about my Rey theory? Could she be a clone or a body created for Palpatine from the start? Let's talk down in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you guys about all of this. But that's it for this video. It's a short one, but I kind of had to get this out of my system because it's in my head, and I would really, really, really love to hear what you have to say about this. Talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.